Here's A's for Apricot, Chapter 7, entitled Discovered. Mary reached into her bag and she was surprised to find something soft and furry. It felt like a cuddly toy. Mary then lifted it up and she was amazed to be holding a lovely, cute guinea pig in her hands. Well, hello, she said to Apricot. Apricot looked up to her with his smoky blue eyes and he hoped that she was kind. After all, he had nowhere to go, and there was no escape for a tired, world-weary guinea pig. Mary then leant down and she began to stroke Apricot's lovely soft coat. It was a nice feeling and one which Apricot wasn't used to. It was good for both of them. He began to purr softly and sounding like a small engine, and Mary laughed. "You're delightful," she said, and she gave Apricot a loving squeeze. Apricot purred louder, and he knew that he was safe. He had found a new friend. "I'm going to take you home," Mary said. "Now, what would you like to eat?" Looking through her cupboards for something appropriate. Apricot was pleased that he was going to be fed, and he was very hungry. He just hoped that it wasn't lettuce. Apricot was so bored of lettuce, and he longed to try something different and exotic, which suited Apricot's character as he was never dull or boring. He was a bubbly ball of curiosity and passion. Mary put the food out into the plate with such love and care that Apricot began to purr again. He'd never felt so happy, and he just wished that he could tell her himself. But the best that he could do was to purr as loudly as possible to show his appreciation. Mary smiled and she stroked him softly as Apricot ate his delicious meal and lapped at the water. That night in his new comfy cage, Apricot had a nightmare. It concerned his old master. In his dream, he had been left out in the pouring rain and his master was drunk as usual. Apricot watched the rain bouncing off the walls and he shivered and tried to get back to sleep. But out of the corner of his sad eyes, he saw something moving in the grass. At first, he hoped that it was just the long grass blowing in the wind, but the way it slithered and turned suggested otherwise. Apricot's eyes widened as it came into view. It's the one thing that he feared the most, a slithering, slimy snake, and it was moving fast towards Apricot's cage as if he was a feasting waiting. Apricot moved to the back of the cage as the snake reared up with its mouth open so wide that Apricot could fall into it like a rabbit hole. Crash! The snake slammed against the cage with its tongue darting left and right, and Apricot said a quick prayer. But when he opened his terrified and tearful eyes, there was no snake. All he could see was the cage door swinging open in the wind. It didn't take Apricot long to fall back to sleep, but this time he dreamed of pleasant things like sunshine and ice cream and being tickled. It was a nice dream, and it was a great relief.